Alright, so this is a video that I've been thinking about doing for a long time. I'm going to talk about 3 secrets that have helped me have a consistent 400 plus disc golf line for close to a year now. I know these things have helped me, and I think they're going to help you. So hopefully a super quick video. Before we get into it, let me know in the comments, what are some of your secrets, tips, or tricks, or whatever, that have helped you get that distance that you want in disc golf? Because I'm curious and I'm always willing and wanting to learn. My first secret for being able to throw 400 plus disc golf lines pretty consistently is drill work. And what I mean by drill work is consistently doing drills, network, whatever you want to call it, off of the disc golf course. This is something that I feel like a lot of people don't actually talk about. Like, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of YouTube videos talking about do this trick, do this tip, do this drill, or blah, 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 and gain distance. I have to be honest, I've made videos like that, and I'm probably going to make more videos like that because it helps get the people's attention. And when I make those videos, I really do think these things will help. In order for drills and in order for things like that to work, you actually have to do the drills to put in the work, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that too. Got to be a sneaky headwind because those are 2 nukes and they're turning over. Stay up, stay up. That was pretty good. All right, so to bring some clarity, when I say drill work, I do not just mean going and looking up a video, finding a tip or a trick, and then going to the disc golf course, trying to implement it immediately into your form, and then calling that drill work. What I'm talking about when I say drill work is doing something consistently that is specific to your form that is going to help you get better in that area. And it's actually so difficult to do because I want like instant change. I want to get better immediately, instantly. But the reality of it is, a lot of your people who can throw really far have really good form. What you don't see is how much work that they're putting in when nobody's watching. And that work is in the form of drills and network and different things like that. So my first shot kind of got burned over and lifted in the headwind. So this one did not end up going very far, but I'll show you the Emperor shot that I ended up throwing, which is my bigger distance anyway. It ended up going like 401 into a fairly decent headwind that you can tell. When I throw distances up on the screen or show certain throws, I'm not trying to flex or anything like that. I'm just trying to like prove that, hey, I can achieve certain distances. And even though I'm not a form coach or anything like that, I have learned things mainly the hard way, unfortunately, that can help you get to a lot of effortless, bigger distances. Don't do it. For the sake of this video, I'm going to try to throw a better shot. Oh my gosh, I know y'all see that wind. That was a quake, by the way, and you could tell what the wind just did to it. That's wild. Ah, dude, I thought for a second. Before we move to the next secret, drill work. That's one of my biggest secrets to 400 plus feet. Like, what people don't see is that 7 days a week, it doesn't matter if it's cold outside, hot outside, or raining outside, I have a net in my backyard that I'm doing specific drills for whatever it is that I'm struggling with in my form. And I'm doing those things every single day, 7 days a week, unless I'm on vacation. And for some people, that can sound like a lot of a commitment. But the reality of it is, it takes me about 5 minutes a day to do that. The second secret that has helped me get 400 plus drives consistently is disc selection. Please stick with me on this though, because I know everybody talks about disc selection, and I'm not just talking about the difference between throwing something like a Destroyer or a Wraith or a DD3 or an Emperor or something neutral to understable. Like, those are all important things, but there is a lot more depth to disc selection, and this one particular part I really think can help you gain an immediate, I don't know, 20 feet of distance. So hear me out when I talk about disc selection. 600 feet, finishing up, not the basket that you probably see in the little canal area. It's uphill further and to the left. So you don't want to be left in this situation. If you can make it to the ditch, on the bottom side of that hill. It's about 400 feet or so. So you really want to throw something understable that's going to flip up, move to the right, and give you a hyzer to the basket. I go with ESP Nuke that's pretty broke in. Oh, it's not that broke in. I did the very thing I said not to do. So maybe I should have gone more understable with a G-Star Wraith. Uh-oh. See, now that was too understable like I thought it would be. Now that's way over there. I really hope I find that. Of course, it is important to figure out what disc is going to work the best for you. And I could make, and probably will make, an entire different video on that. But a lot of times when people say disc selection, what they're referring to is the stability of the disc. So what they're meaning is that if you're a hyzer thrower and you're trying to throw far, you need something understable. If you're a flat thrower, you need to throw something neutral to slightly overstable. And if you're someone who throws anhyzer, you need to throw something overstable that's going to be able to fight out of your throw. That's very important, and you should focus on that. But there is something else, and this has really been the game changer for me, and it is the weight of the disc that I choose for my max distance drivers. I got down here a decent ways, but definitely not where I want to be. In my opinion, I think a disc that weighs anywhere from 165 to 175 grams is a normal weight for a disc. But I'm well aware that a lot of companies advertise 165 to 168 as a lightweight disc, and I just don't fully agree with that. Skip. The weight I prefer is anywhere from 170 to 172 grams. It's not really max weight, it's not really lightweight, but I found that most discs, when you, I almost caught a leaf, most discs, when you get them at that weight, are a little bit more workable, off the shelf, out of the box, whatever. And even when they get broke in, they don't become too understable, which you can run into with lighter weight discs. It's so pinched off from that angle. Maybe I can get a little jump right there. Nope. Practically, what do you take from this? And what I'm saying practically is that if you want to see an initial, like probably 25-ish foot boost of distance without even having to make that many crazy form changes, go buy a disc that doesn't weigh quite as much as what you're throwing. When I first started out, I always wanted to throw max weight distance drivers because I thought that's what pros did, and I wanted to be like them and whatever else. And then when I discovered the world of finding a disc that's just a little bit lighter weight, distance became a lot easier. Before we get into the last secret, go find a lighter weight disc. Also, something with me I found is not too much dome, but also not too flat, so just like some slight dome. Probably give you some distance boosts as well. It's ridiculous. The last secret is this. I don't always throw 400 feet. And I want to clarify on this. I'm going to talk about it more in the next couple of holes. But what I have learned, especially in this past year of making content, is that I'm not always going to throw my max distance every single day. You have to give yourself some grace for that. All right, McFace ace? That'd be cool. McFace ace. Just kind of makes sense. Ooh! Always a tree. Maybe it's a bird. It's always been a bird. It's a bird. I didn't even see that tree. I've never hit an initial gap 3 for 3 and still be in circle 2. And so what do I mean by I don't always throw 400 feet and give yourself some grace? I recently heard on some Joe Mez coverage earlier this year how Emerson Keith, another touring pro, is a 500 plus guy, big bomber guy, sometimes throughout the pro tour when everything lines up and everything feels good. And so what I learned from that is that if someone like Emerson Keith does not always throw 500 plus, which is like the standard for a lot of pros, then someone like myself, who is an amateur, not even close to a disc golf pro tour person, it's a little unrealistic to expect myself to always be throwing 400 plus or even getting close to 450, when realistically I'm going to have bad weeks, bad weekends, just like Emerson Keith does, just like every other pro does. So trying to hold myself to that standard of no, Every single day, no matter the wind, the weather, how I feel, whatever, I need to be able to throw 400 plus. It's a little ridiculous. And so when I learned that earlier this year, it really took a lot of the pressure, even with content, to feel like I always had to throw really far. I know that this may sound like kind of a lame secret to 400 plus distance, but if you can actually learn how to give yourself some grace and understand you're not always going to be throwing your max distances, you're going to gain so much like looseness and even freedom in knowing that it's okay if I messed up a throw and didn't throw it as far as I wanted to, and I'm just going to figure out what I did wrong and fix it the next time, instead of getting so upset or frustrated at yourself that you start to begin to think, hey, I was never really that good at throwing, I'm terrible, I can't throw far, I have a noodle arm, blah, 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 blah. And then honestly making yourself more tense, potentially creating more problems trying to solve a problem that doesn't even exist, and all sorts of really, really bad things. UT position that says it's 427 away, I kind of believe it. You just want to throw something straight. If you make it to the tree line down there, it's about 400 feet, and then you can just kind of pitch up. We're going to go with this nuke. That was kind of smacked. Landed right where I wanted to. There's a little bit of a crosswind and like head crosswind, so I wanted to make sure I put enough hyzer on it, and I did. Just to give you the recap of the video, first secret to throwing 400 plus is drill work. It's what you're doing behind the scenes. Are you putting in the work daily with drills and areas of your form that need to improve? The second secret is disc selection. And not just talking about the difference between a wraith or a destroyer, stable, understable. I'm also talking about a little thing that could give you immediate improvement, which is choosing a disc that's a little bit lighter weight, that's going to fit your arm speed a little bit better. And also choosing a disc that has some slight dome, not like pop top dome, but also not board flight, can really help you get some more full flights out of your disc, but still have enough glide to get a big flight. And then the last one is understanding you're not always going to throw 400 feet or whatever your max distance is. There are going to be days, for me, it's been the past like week, that my consistent throw was more like 380, 390. Today I'm throwing really well, but the days leading up to this, I was struggling to get 400 feet. Like I would get it every now and then, but it was not my consistent throw. And I had to understand, maybe you're just tired, you're having a bad day, it's windy, it's sort of cold. So you've got to understand those things and give yourself some grace. Unless it goes in a little further than I would have liked. At least I missed it high. Good adjustment. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope this helps. Again, let me know in the comments what some of your secrets are to throwing the distance that you desire. This is probably going to be coming out sometime around Christmas. So, Merry Christmas. Hope y'all enjoy it. Love y'all. Stay snappy as always. See you in the next one, and enjoy this little bonus clip at the end.